Hi everyone, Liam here. Today's topic, which is overcoming your fears, overcoming your limiting beliefs, all about getting rid of those chains which go unseen. Whew. I hope the topic isn't too heavy, but I think it's really important. There's things in our life that are holding us back. I did another video which was about our weaknesses, and it's related, so this is kind of the second in a two-part series to follow up on that topic. And so what I thought I would do today is I will share some of the fears that I have or have had in the past, and kind of what I did to help myself work through those, and then also some of the limiting beliefs and that I have had and that I've also worked through as well. And so I hope that you can also get out a pen and piece of paper and work through this with me. So I'm going to give you a minute to go ahead and get that ready. All right, please be sure you actually do it. You do need this. Okay, all right, thank you. Appreciate you getting everything together. All right, let's start. So in my personal situation, there have been a number of kind of unspoken fears and unexamined fears that I've had in my life. I would say one of them has been fear of rejection. I think it's very common for a lot of people to have this, but nonetheless, it's something that holds us back, right? We don't put out our work. We don't put out our voice. We don't share who we are or what we think in as much of a way as we might, or that could have more of an impact, because we're concerned that we'll get rejected. And if you've been through rejection in the past, it doesn't feel good. And when you've had that happen enough times, you say, okay, I'm going to hold back a bit, And so that's something that has stuck with me since the time when I was little. And that's something that I continue to work on to help improve myself and my quality of life. And so generally one thing that I've done around that is just really be less concerned with how others perceive me. And the shift in my thinking that really helped me with this is that there are people out there that are benefiting from and that could definitely use the message that I have to share, and that could help them improve their lives. And if that's one person in 100, or if that's one person in 1,000, that's okay. And so if the other 99% of people that watch the content don't feel that it resonates with them, and they feel that they need to go out of their way to leave a less than kind comment, that's more of a reflection on them and their priorities and where they're at in their life, and it has less to do with the message that I receive. And so the encouraging and kind comments that I receive are really what tells me, okay, yes, let's keep going. Even if I get one comment that's kind and encouraging, I know, okay, somebody benefited from this video. And so on that note, I would really appreciate it if you're getting something out of this video, that you could leave a comment below and let me know what are some of the fears that you're dealing with in your life. Or if that's a little bit too much to share, if you could just leave a word of encouragement or something to let me know that you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate it. And if you could press the like button, I'll know that you like this video. So thank you. Okay, another one. The fear of being wrong. Whew, man, you get this one from the educational system, no doubt. Also, when you're being brought up by your parents as well, you do something that's right. Good job. Way to go. Good job. You do something wrong. Why did you do that? Don't do that. There's a lot of negativity with doing things that's wrong. And so it's very natural that over time, you raise your hand to answer a question in class. You get it wrong. Sometimes, classmates or the teacher might ridicule you. You're on a test. You put in the answer. You get it wrong. You get this red X, So there's often these times where being wrong is associated with with something that's painful, with something that isn't nice to have. And so it's a little bit similar to fear of rejection, but the fear of being wrong, I would say, or the fear of not getting it right, and that's something where, for me, I want to get it right. I want to provide value. I want to make sure that everything that I put out there is something that would be of use to people. And the last one I'd like to share is the fear of not being good enough. Another one, man, fear of not being good enough. Well, what does that do? If you're afraid of not being good enough, again, you're holding back. You're not sharing everything that you have to share with those around you who would likely benefit from what you have to share. And so for me, this is something also that, has been there for a long time, and still working on getting over it. Fear of not being good enough, really, what I'm doing to help myself with that is to say, all right, well, I know that the content that I have has provided value for me in my life. And so I'm going to say that I think that there's going to be some value for other people as well. And again, going back to this 1%, 99%, if 1% of the people are finding value in that content, that's a good fit for them. And that's a way for me to know that I am providing value, and so that I can feel good about it. So interestingly, all of these are kind of around the same topic, just different facets around it, but they're all very related. So what are some of the fears that you have in your life? What are some of the things that have been holding you back, that you haven't been putting yourself out as much as you could? You haven't been doing as much as you could. You haven't said as much as you could because you've been afraid. It's not a pleasant thought to dwell on, but I think it's really healthy, and it's important that, and by shedding some light on these fears, that we can examine them and then we can work through them. And that's definitely a positive and productive thing to do. Okay, next one is on to limiting beliefs. All right, I have noticed that these also have a similar theme, but the first one I'd like to share is the need to be amazing, which is pretty much the need to be perfect. Well, if you need something to be amazing or perfect before you share it with anyone, when is it actually amazing? When is it actually quote unquote perfect, right? And if you're the judge and you're a critique like myself and you have a bit of a perfectionist streak, the answer is almost never. And so that's something that I've had to work on, is that perfectionist streak, and say it's good enough. And so what I'm doing with that is that whole concept around MVP, or minimum viable product. And so I'm making something that's good enough for what it's trying to do. And so that's something that I've been working on, and just continuing to put myself out there. And over time, I've gotten more used to it. And so it's not easy, it's not pleasant, but over time, it's something that you can work on and definitely making progress on. Okay, the next one is that it's smarter. This is something that I've had from when I was little as well, and that it's smarter to learn from other people's mistakes. Can you guess where I'm going with this? If it's smarter to learn from other people's mistakes, when do you know enough? Right? When have you learned enough? When have you read enough books? When have you watched enough videos? When have you listened to enough audiobooks, right? When is it enough? When do you get to say, okay, now I'm ready, right? And so I think that you have to start. You have to start, and then you'll learn and you'll fall. And so that being okay with falling down has been something that I've definitely had to work on for myself. Being okay to be rejected, being okay to be not good enough, because that's the process of progress, right? And that's what we're all looking for in our lives, is growth and progress. And so you can grow mentally, but it's not something that you own, right? You might have the knowledge around how to do something, but until you actually own it and you live it, it's not yours. And so for me, that's been a realization over the last number of years, and that's something that I need to continue to work on. And the last one that I would like to share, I would say, is just general concerns, general worries, general self-doubt. Is this good enough? Is this okay? Am I missing out? Should I be doing something else? I'm not seeing the progress that I want to see. Why is that? These are all things that hold you back. But I think, as I talked about in the previous video as well a bit, so I definitely recommend checking that out. But, a lot of it comes down to faith. Faith and hard work. And yes, of course, you need to improve. You can't just say, all right, I've been doing the same thing 100 times. I haven't seen the result that I want to get. No, you try something for a while. Do you get the results that you want to see? Yes, no. If no, okay, analyze it. What was wrong with it? What can you do to improve? Get feedback, right? It's the qualitative and quantitative. And always get better. Always proceed to the next best thing that you can do. And so that's what I'm trying to do. I hope that if you have some feedback for me, I'd love to hear it. And as always, I hope that you're enjoying these videos. Those are the 3 fears and 3 limiting self-beliefs that I wanted to share today. I'd love to hear from you in the comments what some of yours are. And again, if you found any value in this video, please click the subscribe button as well as the notification marks to make sure that you get my latest content. Thank you. God bless. Hope you have a great day. Unseen chains. What subtle silent fear holds you down, a specter of regret? What unexamined beliefs bind you to a normal life, chains which go unseen? Are thee brave enough to wake a slumbering dragon? For if your fears go ever unchallenged, a great loss shall it be. Or will you rise up and seek the light, and become who you were born to be? Your life is yours to live, none can judge but thee. So choose wisely, but do choose, my friend. It all depends on ye.